Hi.
Start that recording, David.
All right, we're recording. Thank you. So now comes the time where I get to introduce our speaker, Rose King. And she is a friend, and she is a student here at COE. And she's also in the messages class, mediumship class, and she's also an author. So please help me welcome Rose to the platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Gina, for having me. Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Reverend David, and everybody else. I feel like I have friends around here. It's been a good thing for me, so I am grateful. So, like Gina would say, Grand Rising. In Jamaica, we would say, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Feel good,
Yeah.
Just kind of puff up your chest a little bit and feel good. All right, so this morning, I want to talk a little bit about prayer. Prayer, my mom would say, prayer is the key. The key, and she speaks of it like an only key, prayer. And she would say, prayer is the key that opens heaven's door and cause all of God's blessing to come tumbling out. Would you like blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings to come tumbling out on you? Yeah. Would you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you remember to pray today? Prayer doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be drawn out and difficult, running and tumbling. Sometimes a prayer could just be in your heart. So, the older people would say, is there anything too hard for God to do? Do you believe, is there anything too hard for God? Something that you want and you're asking, you think it's too hard? Maybe it's not time yet. Maybe it's not time yet. And sometimes we ask for things and because we don't see it exactly how we ask for it, we say we don't get it. But sometimes if you really take a look, you did get it. You did get it. But sometimes how we ask for it, it's not right. Or it's not time yet. Or that's not for you yet. But if you look into it after a while, you say, you know what? That thing did work out. It did work out, yeah. In the scripture, it says, God is a very present help in trouble. Have you ever been in trouble and you need someone to rescue you? Something, you need a word, you need something. Have you ever been in whether it's sickness, whether it's money trouble, whatever it is, a marriage, and you say, God, I need something. I need a ghost if I have to. I need God. I need something. And you ask. Sometimes you ask silently. In your heart, you're talking to God. You say, Father, please, can somebody help me? Sometimes I call out to my ancestors. Sometimes I say, Granny, please come. I'm in trouble here. I am in trouble. Anybody who would help me, I'm calling out to them. Prayer is powerful. When you pray, somebody listens. In the churches, they speak a lot about monitoring spirits. Have you ever heard of monitoring spirits? A monitoring spirit is a spirit that is present, listening to everything that you're saying, but you don't know that they're there. A monitoring spirit can be a bad thing, and it can be a good thing. Because at times a monitoring spirit would listen to something you say and bring it back to an enemy. They would look what you're doing and they would carry it back. That's what a monitoring spirit is. You have to be very, very careful because money, that's why it's important to pray. Pray. You know, my grandmother used to say, Rose, I'll talk a little patois now. She would say, Rose, bush of eyes, and it's not bush. Wall of ears, and it's not wall. What she's telling me is something very similar to this monitoring spirit. Not because you see a tree, it's just a tree standing there. It could be more. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't understand. You didn't get it. Bush of ears, and it's not bush. What did I tell you a monitoring spirit is? It's a spirit that comes silently, listen to your business, and take it back where it's probably not supposed to go. That's what a monitoring spirit is, and there are monitoring spirits. And what my grandmother used to say, the old time people, bush listens, but it's not directly the bush. They're giving you a parable. Wall of eyes, and it's not wall. So you have to be careful, knowing that you are never alone, good or bad. You are never alone. Don't think, oh, I'm in my bed laying down and I'm just in there alone. A friend of mine once told me a story. She said, you know, Rose, one night, the Spirit woke me up to show me something. And as I opened my eyes, there was a woman with long white hair standing over me in my bed. That's a monitoring spirit. It could be an ancestor, but I'm just showing you that when you think you're alone, you are not. And that's why prayer is very important. Before you go to your bed, say a prayer. Ask your ancestors, ask God to protect you, watch over you. Let nothing happen to you while you're in the night. Why you think some people pass away in their sleep? Because there's things around them. Things around them. Today, I want to just remind someone, remember to pray. Pray. I remember when I was a little girl, I used to go to Sunday school, but our Sunday school at that time in the island was on like a Tuesday or Wednesday evening. They made little wooden benches and the lady would come and pray with us and sing songs. And I remember there was a song that she used to sing. God answer prayer in the morning. God answers prayer at noon. God answers prayer in the evening. So keep your hearts in tune. And it goes on and on. What I'm trying to remind you is that prayer is very important. You wake up and you are depressed. Pray. You wake up and you don't know what to do. Pray. Ask for help. Your help is there. Ask God for help. Call upon your ancestors. Talk to them. You know, whatever it is that you're going through, ask for help. Ask for help. Okay, so here it says, let me just go back here. What they said, what is prayer? Prayer is speaking to God or speaking to spirit or however you choose to call it. That's what a prayer is. Talking to someone that you believe can do much more for you than you can do for yourself. Okay? Prayer could be giving thanks because you asked for something and you got it. My mom used to tell us, Rose, remember, prayer is the only key that can open heaven's door. that can open a way for you, something that you want. Ask for it. We get not because we ask not. Whatever it is that you want, as long as it's right for you, because not everything you ask for is right for you. I had a friend, I don't know where she is now in the world. She said, Rose, we were traveling one time to Brazil. And she said, Rose, we have to be very careful what we ask for. She says, I was so lonely for a long time. I didn't have a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, I want a boyfriend. And she says, I got a boyfriend and he beat me for 10 years. How I got rid of him, excuse me, I don't mean to frighten you. He went down the street one night with some boys hanging out and someone shot him. Someone killed him. She said he beat me. So when you ask, be direct. Explain it how you want it. Mm-hmm. Tall, dark, handsome, not a woman beater. Not this, not that, Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't want a faggot. If something, sorry. Yeah. Something like that, You have to say. You have to say. She said he beat me for 10 years. And how I got rid of him, somebody had to kill him to take him off my hands. He was a tiger. So you have to be careful what you ask for. When you ask for it, be specific. Be specific. Because if you ask for a man, you'll get a man, but you might not be the kind of man you want, right?
Right.
So prayer is important. Me being here on this platform was an answer to prayer. I got to tell you this story. I remember I have always been asking God, please, I want to become a very good speaker. I want to go out and speak and, I want to have the confidence to stand up and speak. How would I get it? I don't know. So one morning I was working for Chrysler then as a nurse. And I think I came somewhere this way, how I saw this church, the red doors. And so I said, wow, is that a church? And I just pulled up. It was about 7:30, 8 o'clock. It was early. And I sat outside there in my car. And after a while, I decided to go in. I saw one or two people came in. And when I came in, it was Reverend Barbara Yarnell. Is that her name, right? Barbara, yeah. She was sitting there, and Reverend Kathy, I remember her name. But both of them were sitting there, and they greeted me. And we talked a little bit. And let me tell you something, God does answers prayer. And when you pray, someone hears you.
Yes.
And you know what Barbara Yarnell said to me? She said, can I take your number? I said, yes. Gave her my number. And before I know it, you know what she called me and said? Would you like to speak in the church? Huh? Doesn't someone answers prayer? I don't know Barbara Yarnell from the Man in the Moon. And here she is answering a prayer. Huh? When you ask for something, God will send someone. The Spirit will send someone. Whatever your ancestors, they will send someone to answer that prayer. And here I am today, still speaking, still getting an opportunity to grow and to learn, to give messages. So prayer is a very important thing. There's a scripture that says, and I think I said this already, if you ask, you will get it. If you knock, it will open. It may not open right away, but as time goes on, you might have to take a few insults. You might have to hear things you don't want to hear, but keep going, keep pushing. Mm-hmm. Why prayer is so important? Jesus prayed. Many people say Jesus is God, but if Jesus is God, then God's praying. When Jesus was afraid, he went up into the mountain and he prayed. When he didn't have enough money with the fish and the loaves of bread, he prayed. Why can't you and I pray when we don't have what we should have? When we don't think life is going the way it should go. I just want to encourage someone today. I just want to tell someone it's important to pray. In the book of Psalms, Psalm 5, I think it's the 3rd verse, it says, early in the morning, I will pray and I will cry unto you. Ask for what you want. Ask for it. It may not come when you want to, but some people said, he's a right on time God. So remember to pray and thank God. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Yes.
Very, very beautiful speech.